Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be going to Slovenia. We're going to be talking to Širom, a trio formed in 2015, consisting of Iztok Koren on banjo, bass, drums, chimes, balafon, Kravanja on violin, viola, ribab, kalimba, bendir, balafon, and Samo Kutin on ukulele, kalimba, harp, balafon, and sound object. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having us.
How's it going?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Every day we have to ask the same question.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time. But I want to start the conversation with you that you're creating a really interesting music that is, to quote you, unbound by tradition or geography. And I'm always intrigued by a band's origin story. We've spent some time already, so I know that you're all three of you had an affinity for drone and psychedelic styles. Can you tell me how you guys came together?
So 5 years ago we started to play together, but we know for many years before, and we had different bands, and we liked our bands. So in one point there was an idea to go together with Iztok band and our duo together. So on that tour we got an idea that we would like to play together and use homemade instruments especially. So after that we started to play together.
Why homemade instruments?
Normally they sound a bit different than instruments you buy in shop, and why not to sound different? This was one of main ideas when we started to discover, but to try also to sound different.
The reason I'm bringing this up is that listening to your music, I was like, okay, this is pretty transcendent. You guys are trying to create a quote-unquote altered state and get people out of their heads a little bit. So what was it that with the instruments that were out there that you found just wasn't doing it for you?
Yeah, it's interesting that we were not aware in beginning that actually we are doing on it. We actually, the point was just to play in this trio and to discover, as we said, to discover more droney music and trance. But then soon we realized that it's going differently. The thing itself, the nature of the music was going in many different directions. So we didn't frame ourselves just into this idea.
We're facing a very interesting time right now. In Europe, it's fall, and so people are going inside. So the pandemic is, the virus is spiking up. So suddenly more, we're more lockdowns. We're used to, okay, it's bad, and then it goes away, and then it's normal again. It's not. It's bad, and it continues to be bad. And wait, it's going to be bad again. So that creates a really interesting opportunity for artists to create music if you choose to, and I think musicians choose to. They react to things.
Yeah, I think that's the time now maybe gives the opportunity that music goes into maybe different role that it was in the past. Yeah, as you said, maybe to help people in any way they need help. But for me also, yeah, the music can help accept maybe this, what you said before, this new reality. We don't know what the new the reality is. We will know maybe when we will look back.
Yeah.
Then we will know that was the reality. But now I think that what is necessary to accept now is this, that we don't we don't know. So live with this uncertainty, this feeling that we cannot control what is happening, and to live with this, because this is the best option to choose. Better than denial, better than anger, better than fear. But to go on and to accept this, and because then the whole new horizon opens, and you see the options that you can take, the new path, maybe also with the music, the new path with the music, and role of the art in this your local environment, or role of the music inside of your band or inside of yourself. This is all changing now. It can change. I think it's good opportunity to take this chance now to change and to widen the role of the art.
Right before this interview was Indigenous Peoples Day. You know, it's a national holiday for Indigenous peoples. And so I did my show on KEXP where I played all this old vinyl of like the first time these tribes all over the world were recorded. And, you know, this is like the 50s, 60s. Capitalism, development, you know, has squished them, or either decimated or transformed them, because now they all speak French or Spanish or Portuguese. You know, they're assimilated. But the music had a really interesting quality where it felt like it was helping people live their lives, you know, at that time. And it feels like, to me, this music is now playing that role again.
First of all, I'm a big fan of these old recordings of different tribes you were talking about. But yeah, I agree with you. I think this moment, what we did and what we are doing, we weren't really thinking about our music as something that we would really say, okay, this is our ritual and we are putting it out from this or the other reason. But actually it happened because many, even us, we felt it like this. It means this to us. It was a ritual somehow. It was a necessary thing to do it in these times. But also people who listened to us on concerts or recordings commented sometimes that this is something that they really need, or the music gave them something. And I'm really happy about it. I think it's impossible to copy history. I mean, to take all the religions, all the rituals, all the healing systems in future. I mean, in this moment, I think the only good thing is to do it actually now very sincerely, just to actually not even with the reason. It just appears when it's needed and when people are open enough.
from Slovenia. I'm in Seattle. Seattle has a big influence on musicians coming from here. It's rainy, it's got legacy, it's got the mountains, it's got the ocean, it's got the forests. You can definitely hear that. You heard that in grunge, and you're hearing that in music coming out right now. What role does where you're from play in the music that you guys make?
We were working on this when we did second album, we made an experiment and we went to places where we originally come from. So it's very different landscapes in Slovenia. Anna comes from karst area. It's a special area with a lot of caves and stones, and Iztok comes from flatlands of Prekmurje. It's close to Hungarian border. We went there in flowering time, so in these big fields of flowers. And I'm from mountain area close to Italy, and we did this just to try how these landscapes affects our music improvisations. And from these improvisations, after we somehow composed our songs, so we cannot really say how it affected, but if you listen the album, you can imagine yourself.
Okay.
What it did. And somehow we are still doing it with also later. Wherever we play, it's different, not only because of acoustic, but also because of energy of the place or people at the moment. This political and COVID situation in Slovenia, for sure it affects, everything affects this kind of music that comes out of improvisation. But somehow we didn't, we were not really consciously thinking about how it affects. We were more thinking about it with connection with nature.
I would like that people will be inspired by our music, maybe to think outside of the box, and this is not so hard. You just have to decide it and try it and get used to it. We started with, as Anna said, with drone, but then we started to think outside of the box, and it just went their own way. And as Samo said, it's not really controlled process, it is our music, our making of our music.
It's not even our music.
Yeah, which actually, yes, yeah. This is, yeah, it's not totally correct term. It's just music, yeah. And we just riding the wave of this music, we don't own this music. People own the music. Everybody own nature also owns this music, and everything is part of the nature, So not only green movement, also the pollution. For me, this is personal. It's also part of the nature, but nature is bigger than humans. It's not because I think that the human, we don't realize that we have really strong this anthropocentric view, and we are not aware of this, and we're such a small, tiny, dirt under the tongue, under the nails, of the nature. So nature will find its balance, but we have to find a balance in the nature.